Good evening and welcome to MRL Friday Night Thunder. After a brief hiatus, we are back in action. The ARCA series is going strong tonight at Watkins, Glen. I'm your host, Snake. In the booth with me tonight, I have Smokin' Joe. Smokin' Joe, always good to see you, bud.
It's always good to be back. Road course racing in the ARCA car. Well, we've done a whole bunch of wild stuff with this car up to this point in the season. Now we're going to see how these guys turn left and right at the same time.
Yeah, a little road course action tonight from the Glen here. So far, so good. As we look at the guys here in a little practice session here, like Joe mentioned, going to be doing the NASCAR style layout here at the Watkins Glen tonight. Joe, what thoughts on the
On the
chances
race
of the
tonight.
field?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Who
so
do
it's
you
gonna
who do you
it's gonna be
think's
very interesting to see how this race plays out. So the way the race is shaped tonight is there's going to be about 12 or so laps on fuel. The race is about 30 laps long. So you're going to have two pit stops from everybody. So we're going to see a lot of different kind of strategies happening. Usually when we get to these road courses, we see guys either take 4 tires, 2 tires, or sometimes even no tires. And it's just all going to matter on the way the tires wear. We've seen things with this car in particular with the general tires and how it's not really about the way they wear, but the way that they heat up. So we may see guys not take tires throughout the whole race, even to try and get some time back that way on the field. There's definitely some guys I'm looking out for tonight that have won at Watkins Glen and MRL and other series. One of those would be Zach Panzarella. He's won in the truck series here before. Joe Volpus has won here in the Cup cars. David Owens is always running up front at road courses as well in MRL. There's some other good guys in the field as well that we always see running up front, especially when we get to road racing. Matt Novella is always somebody that we see running up front. Sean Walden, somebody as well. There's just so many guys here that could really spoil the field and get that big road course win and maybe find their way into the chase here just a few weeks away.
so very important to play the strategy just right. A lot of people are going to be on different strategies. Take care of your equipment and survive the mayhem. Uh, we can take a look at our points here. We were at Pocono last week, where it was a day of moving and shaking. Joe Volpus, as you can see, is our series leader after Pocono, with Billy Brickley 10 points behind in second. Steve Lewis rounds out your podium, 13 behind. And you see, as we move further down there by the cut line, you have Stephen Neal and then Jay Stinson on the cut line. Colin Bollinger is just below. Colin Bollinger will not be in action tonight after a penalty at Pocono. He'll be suspended for tonight's race.
So another big notable penalty to note there from the sixth place driver in points. Sean Walden will be starting from the rear of the field after last week's race as well. A couple penalties that were enforced. If you took a quick look there, you saw Duval's up to fifth in the points. He actually won last week at Pocono to add to our illustrious group of drivers that have won to this point in the season. We're 6 races in so far into the regular season, so we're halfway through. We got 6 races left to go in the regular season, starting with round 7 here tonight at Watkins Glen. We got some interesting tracks coming up there. We're going to see what happens with those guys. I think next week we're going to be at Dover, so that's a bit of a shorter track to take a look at there. We've done only one short, like true short track so far this season. Two short tracks, I guess, really, when you consider Phoenix, maybe one as well, along with Dover as well, mile tracks. So, we saw David Owens win at Phoenix. We saw David Owens win at Iowa. So, can David Owens maybe go 3 for 3 in mile tracks and below next week at Dover?
Yeah, that'll be very interesting to see. David Owens seems to be really consistent on your speedways there. Yeah, I have my eyes on that Chicagoland date coming up on June 20th, and a little bit later on at Homestead. I think those are going to be great intermediate tracks for this ARCA package. I think you're going to see a lot of speed, a lot of drafting, and I really feel like those are going to be some fun ones to broadcast. And moving along, I think we need to touch on something that's near and dear to all our hearts. Joe, it's kind of hard to say the words, but we did lose a very valued member uh, of our community. The founder of the Bonfire Racing League, Dennis Puckett, sadly passed away suddenly, and it was all quite a shock. So um, I know you raced in the
I know
Bonfire, Joe.
you're.
So
I know you're pretty speechless. We kind of really all are. That
it's,
you know
it's, it's a
that we
shock.
that we lost Dennis. Just it's really unfortunate that happened, and
there is a point for
I wish he was still here with us. Definitely miss him. Gonna miss him on Sundays a lot, and just miss his presence. What a great guy he was, how nice he was, and just how nice he was to everybody, and how much he helped everybody, and just what a great guy to talk to, just about whatever you wanted to, and it's just really sad to see him go, and to go in that spirit. I've run over there in Bonfire, for a lot of seasons to this point now. So I got to know Dennis fairly well, running over there with him, and actually in the booth we have with us right now, we actually have Kevin Kyle from Bonfire, the admin, of course, on the Bonfire Premier Cup on Sundays. So I know he has a few words to say about everything, and I'm going to pass the mic over to him now.
Yeah, hey, thank you, Joe and John. I appreciate it. Yeah, just wanted to speak about Dennis real quick. Not too quick, but yeah, so Dennis Wade Puckett, he was born December 7th, 1978, and he did pass away June 3rd. I believe it was just Tuesday that he passed away. He was age 46. Basically, he's survived by his wife, Kristen Puckett. He had one sister, Denise, two brothers, Josh and Christopher, one nephew, Adam, and then he has three nieces, Megan, Olivia, Audrey, and two great nephews, Jason and Brandon. They had their service today. We had two members of our league go down and attend the funeral. That was Jared Kelly and Nick Mills were able to make the trip down there. So great thank you to them for going down there and being able to share that time there with the family. Just real quick, I reached out to a couple guys just to get some words about Dennis. Caleb King was one of the guys that came to my attention in our server that was pretty close to Dennis. And he just writes, I think everyone who's been a part of this league has probably had the chance to interact with Dennis at some point. Came away with the feeling they cared about the league and also cared about the people. Yeah, he was someone you could always count on, someone who wouldn't hesitate to tell you that you were wrong and he was right. LOL. We had a few heated discussions because of our stubbornness. It was refreshing to have someone in my life who gave me those types of conversations. Dennis was the type of friend who would always reach out if you hadn't heard from you in a while. It was nice having someone like that in your life. Dennis was a great friend who is loved and will be missed by many. And that was from Caleb. And then just one real quick, I don't think Nick would mind me sharing, but he just posted. And Nick was down there earlier. But this is from Nick Mills. It's hard to put into words what the loss of Dennis means to our group. Every Sunday morning and many Tuesdays too, he was more than just a teammate in our iRacing League. He was a friend, a constant, and a quiet force of good. Dennis was the kind of person who would make everything better just by showing up. A steady hand, a loyal teammate, and someone who never compromised who he was. He gave me space to go off on my own tangents, always listening, always kind, but never swayed from his own beliefs, and that's a rare quality. To Dennis's family, especially his wife, thank you for sharing him with us week after week. He was a part of our little online world, and his absence leaves a hole we can't fill. He was a fan favorite for good reasons, and Sundays just won't be the same without him. We'll miss him deeply, not just as a racer, but as a person who made this community better in every way. Rest easy, Dennis. We'll carry your spirit with us on every lap. And that was from Nick and Caleb. And just to piggyback onto that, on Dennis's Facebook page, you can find out more stuff about Dennis and his wife. But there's a lot of comments from around the league and a lot of our own members on there. But just something, Chris, his wife actually responded back to us on a couple of our posts, but I just wanted to read what she wrote. Thank you for the kind words about him. He may not have been the best driver on the track, as evidenced by the many F-bombs I heard during his time racing, but he loved playing that racing game so much. Just to see and hear how many great friends he had made in the race community really warms my heart. So, yeah, just imagine, I know we're all here racing with each other week in and week out and lots of different nights of a week, but in a small way, we are all a part of each other's lives. And just remember this life's short, and, just make sure you love your loved ones. And that's all I kind of have to say about it. I appreciate Dennis. He's taught me everything in the league. I've been in the series for about 2.5 years, 3 years, and I dealt with him a lot with learning how to admin and talked on many phone conversations with him, trying to learn the league and trying to get extra Discord channels in our series. That was always a funny argument we had, because he just did not want to change that, and he finally did. He gave me a couple channels of my own. So I love you, Dennis, and I know a lot of the guys do too. And yeah, you'll forever be missed. But yeah, thank you guys for giving me the time to talk about Dennis real quick, and I appreciate the time. And yeah, I know he cared a lot about everybody.
Thank you, Kevin.
Very well said. Very well said, Kevin. Thank you.
You're welcome, guys.
Yes, rest easy indeed, Dennis. Yeah, you will be missed. So in celebration of Dennis tonight, we will have a silent lap on lap 12 in remembrance.
And then just to piggyback off that, I know Kevin didn't mention it, but earlier around the bonfire he did, over in Bonfire Racing League, the number 12 is going to be retired in his honor. And over here on Fridays, Zach Panzarella graciously gave up the number 12 in order to honor Dennis Puckett as well. Michael Benton will be running 12 in honor of Dennis Puckett for now, as long as he wants to, pretty much. I don't know if it's going to be marked on tonight's stream or not, but moving forward it will. And pretty much I'm going to reserve that number for anyone that, raced or knew Dennis, raced with him, talked with him, knew him and everything, and reserve that number for anybody that would want to honor him for moving forward on Fridays.
It's a wonderful gesture, Joe, and reflecting on all this just puts life in perspective. It's definitely short, but we have a race to run tonight, Joe, and transition from that. Looks like we have Daniel Plant Smith currently with the hot lap.
Yeah, so looking at that, of course, Sean Walton did qualify here. He was trying to get that pole point, of course. Unfortunately, he was not able to get it, so he's going to be going to the back of the field here, and not getting any extra points for qualifying.
Sean Walton with the EOL. You see Matthew Fritz, Zach Panzarella, Joe Volpus round out your top 5. Moving further down the field, see Matt Novella in 7th, David Brenner in 9th, David Owens in 10th.
Yeah, if we're looking even further back, looks like we got some newcomers. I know some guys are a little green on road courses right there, starting 12th through 15th, actually 12th through 16th. So you got Juan Delgado, Steve Lewis, John Beverly, Jerry Rose, and Mike Bedden. All of them, I know they need to put in some extra time at road courses in order to feel like they're going to be competitive. So I'm sure they got their time in, to try and feel like they were going to be better for tonight's race, and try and see if they can maybe work their way into the top 10 in this very, very competitive field for a road course tonight.
Yeah, it's all about that experience, and absolutely they need to get into test sessions and put some more time in. As you move further back there, a couple familiar faces, Jonathan Casabir in 18th, and Buddy Sally in 20th there, Tommy Fox in the Double Deuce, Hunter Hall in 24th, and Brandon Guerin round out your top 25.
Yeah, all those guys didn't put in the time in qualifying. Looks like you got Duval back there. He just won last week. I guess he's decided to make it a challenge for him for a road course this week. Going to start back there in 17th. Buddy's, I know he was putting down the fastest laps in practice, so he definitely wanted to make it a bit of a challenge. I think he's trying to go for the Jason Landry strat that he does on Bonfire Sundays at road courses. See if he can work his way from the back to the front and win here today.
Well, there's got to be a lot of traffic ahead for him here as we see the cars have gridded up and the pace car leads them out onto the racing surface here. We'll take a warm-up lap around Watkins Glen. It's pretty much one of the most straightforward forward style road courses that a stock car can go to, Joe. It's not overly technical, very easy to drive. In comparison to the other tracks, as we see a little issue there. Sean Walton trying to go
who
to the
was
back
that?
of the line, and
So somebody was unaware that the 23 was going to the back of the field, it seemed like, and
they
almost
seem
created a wreck on lap 0.
they seem to be pretty startled there. So, so if everybody can just kind of look up and pay attention here, maybe we can go green without incident. But a lot of pretty paint schemes out there tonight, Joe. Anything stand out to you in particular?
Okay, there's a few paint schemes that I have my eye on. Of course, Zach Panzarella, he's starting second. He's, of course, switched from the 12 to the 1, so a little bit different paint scheme for him here tonight. You see the logo on the side honoring Dennis as well with his
pretty
car.
Sharp. Yeah, I like that.
Joe Vulpes, a couple rows back, is in Mark Martin throwback. Shout out to Jack Sanders for making that paint scheme for him. And
It's a hot paint scheme.
If I look a row behind him, Matt Novella is in a very interesting looking paint scheme, if I do say so myself. I can't really think of any other words to say about this one.
Evidently, he's opposed to the number 23. So be that as it may, Matt Novella kind of a little bit of the inside joke after certain events at Pocono last week. So moving on, you see Daniel Smith there. He had the fastest time here. He's starting on the pole, and
you know what else? He's looking to send it.
He is looking to send it. And hopefully everybody's tires are scrubbed off, cleaned up. We're gonna be having the pace car pull off, and we're about to go green. So Friday Night Thunder here on MRL at Watkins Glen. Green flag.
All right, let's see what happens here down into turn 1. Let's see if anybody wants to do anything aggressive here on lap 1. Maybe make up some spots.
So far, so a little contact.
Oh.
And we have a car around as the 51 takes out the 22. Jerry Rose send it in there deep, makes contact with David Brenner, spins out David Brenner. There's no full course cautions tonight, only local cautions. So got to be careful out there as we see misfortune in turn 1, Joe.
Yeah, I can, relate to that. I've had a lot of miscues at road courses on lap 1.
More contact.
This we have some scary racing going on there in the back. You see Sean Walton trying to work his way through on his from his EOL.
Oh,
somebody's around here.
Round and around we
Somebody's
go.
doing a 360. Who is that?
And,
Hunter Hall, I believe.
That is Hunter Hall. Hunter Hall spinning out through the bus stop. Can he get it going again? There we go. Looks like he got a little damage from that. Hopefully he'll be able to recover as we see everybody leave the carousel there. That is a sharp paint scheme. I got to tell you, Mark Martin was one of my favorite drivers growing up, and that's one hell of a paint scheme, Joe, as we see Vulpes marching forward.
Yeah, it looks like Parham just got around him there coming out of the final corner for 4th place there. So your top 5 right now is Smith, Panzarella, Fritz, Parham, and Vulpes. So, like I was saying, though, lots of times this past season and very recently, I've had this thing going where I just decide that I want to make the race way harder on myself for no reason. And I'll go in the grass and spin myself out, or I'll try and make a dumb move, or I'll mount a curb the wrong way, and then I'll be 20 seconds behind after lap 1. I'm sure Panzarella and Mean Gene have a fun time watching me try and come back through the field after making a monumental mistake on lap 1. But it's definitely nice to see the 6 car not do that in this session, at least yet.
Well, as encouraging as that sounds, that's a good lap for me. I need to put in more time, I'll tell you that much. But as you see, the car is navigating the track here. That is a sharp paint scheme as we see Rose back up to speed as Billy Brickley in the 44 gets around him. Uh, I really I'm enamored with that chrome finish. That is a lot of chrome going on that camel. And there's the 77 of Beverly there. Buddy Sally on his inside there as we're going to enter turn one. Turn one a little dicey, a little. You don't want to overcook it there. See,
So
the
you know what I've
77
noticed?
lets Walton go by.
So the thing I've noticed here is that was passes for 11th and 12th. Buddy and Sean there, they started in the back of the field. They're already up just outside the top 10, and we're only on lap 3. So they're making pretty quick work of this field. They do have a lot of time to make up, though, compared to Plant Smith. They're 14 and 15 seconds behind them, respectively. So they're going to have their work cut out for them if they want to catch up to them. But, you know, they've pretty much cut the field in half already. So, you know, most of your time loss is making passes.
So you have a little bit of a breakaway there. Smith in the lead, Panzarella about 4 car lengths behind there, and Fritz taking a look there on Panzarella's rear bumper. I think he might be content to follow, but just to let Zach know, hey, I'm right here behind you. I can make the move.
Yeah, he's letting them know that he's still here, and definitely maybe thinking about making a move here. You know, I think looks like they're racing pretty hard behind him for 4th right now. They're starting to get stacked up there for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Looks like actually David Owens just made a pass on Matt Novella for 6th place. So the 8 car, get used to calling it the 8 car moving forward here right now.
Us Energy 8, David Owens is Mr. Zero Chill himself. He and Novella, you know, they've mixed it up on a track or two before. You know, they're very competitive. So they're always looking to get as many spots as possible and push the issue. But with the road course here, it's all about pace. It's not necessarily racing the other cars. It's about keeping a solid pace. And I really feel like hitting your marks, taking care of your tires and your brakes, and just trying to manage your equipment. I think that's the most important thing about a long run.
Yeah, and you know what we're seeing right now, though, is the 21 and the 23. I don't think they're really caring that much about what they're saving right now. I'm going to tell you that. They want to get as much as they can, as fast as they can. Look at them. They're all over the back of the 60 car, and I think that's Steve Lewis right in front of Stinson there as well. They're going to make some passes here, I think, maybe in the turn 1.
I think so, too. You see Walton and Sally chomping at the bit there on the heels of Jay Stinson as they thread it by Steve Lewis in the 88 there in turn 1. Air Louis gets shown the rear of the line as Buddy and Walton are on a mission. Really nice car, though, Steve Lewis has tonight. I like that paint scheme. I like the MRL broadcasting on the hood. That's a pretty good nod. So we see you out there, Steve Lewis. We see you.
Yeah, nice paint scheme. The one thing I saw there, though, Sean Walden went from 12th to 10th. He made a double pass right there. He didn't only get himself around Steve Lewis, but he got himself in front of Buddy. And, you know, that's going to be very interesting because they were very similar in pace in practice. And I think it's going to really matter on which one gets through the field first if they want to have a chance to win.
Walton with the sense of urgency. I think he's just really trying to not let too big of a gap occur during his first run. So he's just trying to get by as many of these guys as possible. As you see, he's putting the pressure on Stinson there, going really hard on the brakes. And as we exit the turn, you see the car getting loose there. So he's definitely trying to drive it for all it has right now. I think he's got his work cut out for him. He's got a couple tough drivers in front of him with Stinson and then Duval in the 84 in the Goldfish Special. But yeah, Sean Walton definitely on a mission. Now Buddy right behind trying to follow closely as they kind of carve up through the field there.
Yeah, you can see it's a bit of a stack up, though, behind Jay Stinson. Bit of trouble here right now for Walton to make this pass for 9th. We'll see if maybe Buddy's going to try and capitalize on it.
He wanted to. He wanted to take a peek in there. I know Walton feels like he's being held up. He was very patient there as he's going to try to maybe put on the pressure through the carousel.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the leaderboard. It does look like David Owens got around Volpes as well and Parham. So he's up to 4th. They're getting pretty wild here, it looks like, around position on the field.
Looks like a top 3 breakaway, and then you have that cluster from fourth to seventh. As you see Joe Volpus entering the pits. Short pitting, Joe, or is this a good strategy?
So we're going to see how this plays out based on track position and where he comes out of the pits. But definitely going to short pit and maybe see if he can try and jump the cars that he was racing. We'll see if it plays out in his favor or not. It's the jury's still out. It all matters on where he comes out traffic-wise right now. If he comes out in clean space on the racetrack, looks like he took fuel only there.
Fuel only there.
So if he comes out in a clean spot here, then he might be in very good shape to make up some time and maybe leapfrog his way back to fourth.
Well, it's to your point earlier, this ARCA car, it doesn't necessarily seem to wear the tire as much as you can kind of control them with the amount of heat that you put in them with how you drive. So it's kind of showing not a lot of abuse and wear so far.
Yeah, definitely. We're not seeing a lot of wear. I think if we're looking at lap times, I think guys are still getting faster and faster pretty much at this point in the race. As it looks like Matt Novella has just ducked his way down pit road as well. So, oh my goodness, I almost got faked out. I thought it was Sean Walton.
You wanted to say it. The anti-23, aka the 56 of Novella coming in for service is, he's going to try to kind of short pit it and see if he can try to find some fresh air to rejoin, make up some time that way. But looks like your top three is broken away with Smith, Panzarella, and Fritz. As we see the 84, the Goldfish Special, good old salty snack. Makes you want to pop open a bag. But the Florida man himself, last week's race winner at Pocono, Jax Duval, goes through the bus stop here, nice and smooth. Just gets on the curbs, two wheels, just enough. Wraps the carousel, nice smooth exit. Doesn't overdrive it. It's pretty textbook.
Yeah, you can see
here.
though. It looks like look at what's going on behind him. Sean Walton and Buddy want to get somewhere in a hurry.
Yeah, here we go. Walton again. He's going to push the issue and make the move on Duval, and it looks like he's going to clear him on the exit. Duval back on the inside. They're going to see who can outbrake each other. And it looks like Duval is going to have some momentum here, and Walton on the outside. It's a drag race. See, Walton is just ahead of Duval at the line as they enter turn one.
Yeah, he definitely got him there going into turn one. Oh, that is not a legal place to end up on the track, though. We'll see if he gets some sort of a slowdown penalty from that right there.
That should be a slowdown as he exceeded the track limits. Big sweeping move. He does gain the position. It looks like he'll be able to negate the slowdown penalty while staying ahead of Duval. As you see Buddy Solly in the 21 taking a peek inside. He'll stay behind Duval going through the bus stop. As we see really close racing, really tight. As you see Duval has trouble on the exit of the bus stop there. He gets caught there, gets off track a little bit. Solly gets the position. He also gets passed by Billy Brickley as well. But you see Daniel Plant-Smith, your leader, 9 laps in at Watkins Glen on your Friday Night Thunder on MRL.
Yeah, so if we're looking a little further back, it looks like Fritz actually lost some time there to Panzarella on the last lap. Maybe he had a bit of an issue there. Looks like he's about 2.5 seconds slower. Not really sure how he lost so much time. Oh, and he looks like he got the wall a little bit now, too. So it looks like things are really falling apart for Matt Fritz. And it looks like it might be just a 2-horse race right now between Daniel Plant-Smith and Zach Panzarella for the win.
As you can see, we have a clear 2-car breakaway as Fritz seems to have a little bit of misfortune, a little bit of a struggle here. But Daniel Smith just laying down just really good times. The track kind of coming into its own. It's roughly 16 degrees cooler from practice to green flag conditions currently. So a little bit more grip than the drivers experienced earlier today.
Oh, yeah. So definitely going to see how the track reacts to the way it is now compared to the way it was. Track temperature is going down. Even though it does look sunny, track temp is definitely still going down at this point just because the air temp is going down. So we're going to see how that really plays out throughout the race. And if we're looking at lap times right now, Just watching as everybody's crossing the line. It's going to take a second because the field is so spread out right now. As you can see, Novella and the 6 car, they're battling pretty hard right now, going side by side for position.
This is for position. Both of drivers pitted early, so as you can see on the scoring tower, this is the last lap times for the field. Daniel Smith running one of the fastest times. It appears Sean Walton had the fastest time on track last lap, so he's still coming at an aggressive pace.
Somebody sideways in turn 1 there.
Car sideways.
I don't know who it was. So someone was having a smoke break out there.
So somebody had to pause for the cause. As we see our leader Daniel Smith coming in for service. 10 laps in, so we have 20 to go for tonight's event. A leader coming in. I don't think he's going to take tires, Joe. What do you suspect?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to take tires either, but I do believe we are starting lap 12 now as well. I don't know if I think we're on 11. I don't know. I lost count already. Man, there's so much going on. I don't even know. Matt Fritz stayed out, so we got Daniel Plant-Smith putting tires on. It looked like. I don't think anybody else has put tires on, so he's going to give up a lot of time here. You see the 1 car. He came out of pit road way before Plant-Smith there, so that's going to change the lead here after we're done with this pit cycle.
Absolutely. So Matthew Fritz is our Fritz is coming out of the corner, and so when our current leader Matthew Fritz crosses the start-finish line, we're going to have a silent lap 12 in remembrance of Dennis Puckett. See, Fritz seems to have recovered some, running a little bit smoother.
I think he's going to come into pit road here as we do start our 12th lap, actually.
So Matthew Fritz coming into service. It looks like Zach Panzarella will inherit the lead, and we are going to go silent. And we are back on Friday Night Thunder here on MRL Broadcasting. Zach Panzarella, currently your leader at Watkins Glen here, as we're approaching the halfway point in our ARCA Series event tonight. Joe, thoughts so far on the racing and the strategies at play here? What are you seeing?
So what I've seen so far is just the way the race is going to play out. We've seen guys on no tires, and then we've seen guys on 4 tires. Plant-Smith's on 4 tires right now, so we're going to see how that plays out. As it looks like Juan Delgado in the 8. Oh, the 8 car is going to overshoot the bus stop.
David Owens.
The 31 and the 14, they're wrecking. No!
Oh, my goodness. Your former leader, Daniel Plant-Smith, contact with Delgado exiting the bus stop. This is incredible here. Can Smith recover?
Man, this is a huge turn of events in this race. Daniel Plant-Smith took 4 tires, and it just seems like since he did that there just a couple laps ago, everything is going downhill for him. He got stuck behind David Owens, and then that unfortunate incident with the 14 car coming out of the bus stop. It looked like Delgado got loose, and 31 just had, the 031 just had nowhere to go, and it looks like he might be having a little bit of damage as he's starting to drift around these corners pretty badly. So might have a bit of suspension damage from that. I do believe that the 14 car did end up parking it. And look at this. So we went through green flag pit stops. So now we see Sean Walden's caught up to Plant Smith after that whole incident. But also, look who's not in the picture with Sean Walden. That's Buddy Sully's not in the picture with him. He got a speeding penalty there during that pit cycle, and he's fallen all the way back down to 15th. So his bid to win this race, I think, is on ice after that.
That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt. Yeah, that's just you try to run consistent laps. You try to execute, and just the little things, just the little speeding penalty can just make a great day just absolutely fall apart. But you see a lot of action here. Vulpes in 5th place there with Novella in 4th and Fritz in 3rd. A little tight battle here as they navigate by the 51 of Rose entering turn 1. So really good pack of racing right here as we focus on the action. We're at the halfway mark here, so we got 15 laps to go of the 30-lap feature. They're going to have to stop one more time, Joe, so we still have a little bit of strategy at play. Zach Panzarella looks like he's handily taken over the lead with David Owens in 2nd. So,
all right, so here we go. I'm going to give you a lay of the land here. So the only person that took tires, at least based on the pit times from the last pit stop, was Daniel Plant Smith. So nobody else inside the top 13 right now are on tires. I would assume Buddy probably took tires considering he got the speeding penalty. He may not have, though, considering it was a 47-second pit stop, because that would equate to the 40-second hold plus a 7-second fuel fill-up. So there's only maybe 2 guys on tires, actually, right now that are on the lead lap, and that's Plant Smith and Babcock. Those are the only 2 that I see that have pit times that would resemble taking tires.
So they potentially don't have to take tires from this point till the end of the race.
There's also the possibility that these guys, everybody else might not take tires again here. We're definitely going to find out what happens. But, Zach Panzarella right now, he's in a position with his 8-second lead where he could put tires on and still come out with a pretty sizable advantage, I would say. At least probably, based on the pit times, I'd say probably about 2-second advantage, even if he put 4 tires on. So I'd say there's no pressure on what Zach wants to do. Just earlier this season, last season in his championship season on Thursday Thrillers Truck Series, when me and Gene and I were doing that broadcast, Zach ended up taking tires on the last pit stop. Colin Cowgill, I believe, did not, or he took 2. I want to say he took none, and ended up jumping him and got the win from him. So I don't think I think Zach's going to be a little bit more cautious to make sure he doesn't repeat what happened in that race and actually hold on to the win this time and not get beat by somebody on a strategy.
Well, he does have a nearly 8-second lead to manage, so hopefully it works out for him. It looks to me like we were looking at Daniel Smith as he comes into pit road again. He and Sean Walton looked like they were racing pretty close. Your former leader, Daniel Smith, coming in.
This is too early. He's not going to have enough fuel to make it to the end from here.
I wonder if there's some damage on the car.
Lap short. I mean, even still, like he had to troop it out for one more lap if he wanted to make it to the end. So he's either gonna have to do a serious fuel con or he's gonna have to pit a 3rd time.
Yeah, it was fuel only. So our former leader, Daniel Smith, exits pit road cleanly, comes back in through the S's, makes what could potentially be the final stop, but he may have to save at the pump a little bit.
Oh, yeah. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out for him. Uh, looking at the lap times though, things are getting very tight at the front. Zach Panzarella stuck in some serious traffic right now. He was 3 seconds off the pace last lap. As Novella and Vulpes come down pit road this time, this is going to be very interesting. They're going to try and see if they can jump some time here. Again, let's see if they take fuel only or if they go 4 tires this time.
As they are a tandem in entering pits here, so this could work to their advantage. They definitely have been on the early pit strategy. Let's see if they can make some time up here in the back end. And it looks like fuel only for Novella and Vulpes. I don't think I saw tires.
No, looking at their pit time, 7.60 for Novella, 7.88 for Vulpes. Those are definitely not long enough stops to put tires on.
So, fuel only, no tires the entire race. That just shows you that's really not much of a fallout. Maybe new tires aren't necessary.
Yeah, I think it's going to matter more on the way you treat them and not on how much they wear. I mean, the one person you saw put tires on ended up in the worst situation, actually. Plant Smith, his whole race pretty much went down the tubes after he put on those 4 tires.
David Owens entering pit road for his final service of the race here with 11 laps to go. See if Owens takes tires.
I'm thinking it's going to be fuel only. I'm betting everybody's going to go fuel only.
I think at this point you have to. His precious seconds at stake now. Oh, he's jacking it up. There are going to be some tires.
Oh, okay. That's 2. And that's 4.
So
okay.
David Owens going against the curve, getting 4 freshies and a packet full of fuel.
So looking at the lap time, the pit times there, that's a whole 7 seconds slower because he put 4 tires on than Novella and Vulpes. And you're going to see that here when he comes out of pit road. They came out in front of him by a reasonable distance, and even Plant Smith is going to come out in front of him, it looks like, as well.
David Owens giving up some track position there, going with 4 tires, maybe thinking he could chip away at it with 10 laps, a little more than 10 laps remaining.
Yeah, I don't know if this is an interesting call. We'll see if it works out. I would think if you wanted to take tires, you probably wanted to run long on the first run and put tires on like Plant Smith did. I don't think putting tires on at this point is a call that's going to win you the race, in my opinion.
You see more takers on pit road as Sean Walton comes down pit road for service.
I saw Sean Walton, Matthew Fritz both down there this time. Watching their pit times. Let's see what kind of pit times they have. Matthew Fritz, he's going to put tires on. His pit time's going long enough for tires. Let's see what... And Sean Walton's was not. Sean Walton put fuel in.
Sean Walton, fuel only. So he's going to make up a little bit of track position there. As you see Fritz exiting pit road, they're going to rejoin right by David Owens around the 9th, 10th place position. So interesting call. He has 4 tires, as does David Owens. Let's see if they can leapfrog through the field with 10 laps to go tonight.
So your fuel only guys, though, so far the guys that have pitted, Novella's the first one out of that group, and then you got Vulpes and Walden are pretty close to each other. As the 95's having a little trouble on the track.
Fritz, a little problem with the bus stop there. You got to remember, you have cold tires the first lap and a half of a road course. It's brutal.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the big problem here. You can see it already. David Owens is having trouble getting around the 31 car, who did not take tires there. Meanwhile, these guys look like they're driving away in front of them. It looks like Walden and Vulpes and Novella are putting down some good lap times. As you see some more of the top 5 down pit road, looks like Duval down this time.
Absolutely. Jax Duval, the Florida man, getting his final service of the evening, as he's quietly been running a top 10 campaign tonight.
Yep, so you still got 3 guys out on the track. Then you got Novella, then you got Vulpes there, and then you got Sean Walden right here. These 3 are pretty tight to each other. Jerry Rose is right there. Oh my God, the 6 car gets really loose. And the 23 is going to get a big run.
He said, smoke him if you got him. As we see, this makes it a lot spicier as Walton and Vulpes enter the bus stop together.
Oh.
No contact, but Vulpes gets off course a little bit, recovers nicely, and Walton completes the pass there. Very, very tight racing. You see Daniel Plant-Smith trying to get around the 51 with contact with the 51. Smith wrecked again.
I think he had some. I think what he was. Man.
What had happened was.
I think he was trying to put in his resume to go drifting in Tokyo right there, and he failed.
Yeah, Vin Diesel's not going to give him the nod. So, unfortunate circumstance there for our one-time race leader and pole sitter, Daniel Smith there. Effectively, his chances of winning tonight are out the window. So, Zach Panzarella handily in the lead here. Justin Parham in the 99 in second place. Matt Novella in third. Sean Walton behind in fourth. Vulpes directly behind in fifth. And David Owens and Matthew Fritz behind there making a good charge at it.
So looking at the lap times, Panzarella has not pit yet, but he was slower than Parham behind him, who has not actually see Panzarella's down pit road right now. Parham will be coming down pit road, I would assume, this time as well. Looks like it's saying pit for him as well. Looking at the lap times, Novella and Walden were faster than them here these past couple laps. Vulpes was as well until that whole kerfuffle with the 51 and then the thing with the 23 there in the bus stop. It looks like he's fallen more towards David Owens since he finally got around the 31 that is now out of the race. So we'll see if these fresh tires do matter for David Owens here or not, and if he can make any sort of passes on the guys in front of him.
He really got close to that wall there, didn't he? Pushing
Definitely
the absolute limits of the track.
Oh yeah, definitely using all of the track limits. You know, some of those corners you have a little bit more leeway than others. That is not one of them that you have the leeway, so that was most likely a 1X right there.
Yep, he just overshot it a little bit. That's definitely going to be an incident point. I know it very well.
Very, very, very easy to do at a road course. Nice, though, that a couple of these corners are a little bit more forgiving when it comes to them. As you can see, it looks like Panzarella has, after the pit cycle, if we look, he took fuel only again. So the only one up there, so the guys that are on tires, you got Owens in 50s on tires, and then you got Fritz in 7th on tires, and then Duval is, looks like he may have, I don't know what just happened there.
Did Parham take tires? Because he exited the pits a lot further back than Panzarella did, it seems.
Parham was about 26 seconds behind Panzarella, that's why. Parham did take fuel only, though, as well, 6.78 on his pit stop. Duval, there was something weird going on with the graphics there. So Duval actually did take tires on the stop. So those are the first three guys on tires right now. Owens in 5th, Fritz in 7th, and then Duval in 10th.
Things getting a little spicy here as we have 6 laps to go at Watkins Glen. Zach Panzarella is your race leader with Matt Novella in 2nd, Sean Walton in 3rd, Joe Vulpes 4th, and David Owens round out your top 5. Been a relatively clean race. Only a couple on-track incidents thus far tonight, Joe. I have to say I'm pretty impressed with the racecraft on tonight's race with you know, the different levels of experience here with the drivers on road courses.
You know, maybe we have to take cautions out at every racetrack, and maybe then we'll start racing a little bit cleaner with each other, because this by far has been probably the lowest incident point count race of the season, I would say. And
some pretty fair racing tonight, absolutely.
That as well. And for a road course, to say that for a road course, it shows just how great of an ability everybody has in here. It's just a matter of then putting it all together. When we get to a track like a Chicagoland or a Kansas or a Pocono, and showing that we have that ability at those kind of tracks as well. As we're showing the ability to almost wreck the 6 car. That's not the first time Joe Vulpes has been hit in the rear in the past week.
Vulpes getting sent a little extra firm into turn 1 there, but he showed that he can Tokyo drift, so maybe Vin Diesel will be in touch.
Yeah, definitely a good job saving the car right there. He wasn't able to be so lucky on Sundays there, but he was able to get a result out of that. 4th place out of that race on Sunday. Maybe he'll get a 4th here again. Maybe that's what it takes for him to get fourth place finishes. He needs to get hit in the rear.
Yeah, get just a little gentle motivation, perhaps. Zach Panzarella with 5 laps to go has a 4-second lead over Matt Novella, and then
That
behind
lead's
him,
closing.
he's making up a little bit of time here. The big race right now is for the coveted 3rd position. As you see, there's 4 cars in play for that, as Sean Walton currently holds down 3rd.
Yeah, it looks like
Voltus
Sean
nipping at
Walton
his
might
heels.
be. I think Sean Walton's going to start pulling away. He started in the rear of the field. He's worked his way all the way up to 3rd. I would assume that he's probably a little bit better than these guys behind if he was able to work his way all the way from the back to 3rd.
Yeah, a very strong run for Sean Walton tonight. Very impressive.
Yeah, definitely very, very interesting. It's not easy to come back from the back of the field at a road course and to do it with clean racing as well. So he's done a good job, keeping the nose clean and be able to make the passes when he can. Do a little pit strategy as well. Got his way up to 3rd. Unfortunately, he's not going to have enough time to make up 8 seconds in 4 laps. However, who could make up that time is Matt Novella, who's driving a paint scheme that makes me want to say it's still Sean Walton, but he's making up that time on Zach Panzarella. I think he's right now about 0.6 of a lap faster or so, maybe something like that.
The Sean Walton imposter knocked half a second in 1 lap off of that time, so he is shrinking the gap. Will he have enough time with 3 to go here at the line, Joe?
Let's see what the lap times were. That time he gained about 0.7. That's not enough. He needs to gain about a second a lap if he wants to get there.
So time running short for Novella. Less than 3 laps to go as he tries to chase down our leader, Zach Panzarella, who's been controlling the pace for essentially 2/3 of the race tonight. A very commanding performance thus far. As you can see, Novella can see him. Can he reel him in? Another clean bus stop for Panzarella as he has a terrific exit into the carousel. Novella navigating a little lap traffic
by the 51. He lost about half a second through the bus stop there, getting around the 51. That may be all Panzarella needs to hold on to this advantage for the last 2 laps.
It's going to be very costly, as you can see on the intervals there. He definitely lost a half a second. We're going to be coming to 2 at the line after we make our final turn. Will Novella chase and capture Zach Panzarella? Panzarella.
Oh, the 51! The 51 had some trouble.
Looks like he almost backed into traffic there, folks, as the 51 has a little bit of trouble there. It looks like everybody made it by safely.
Definitely everybody averted crisis. That was right in front of all the leaders as well, so it looks like they all made it through unscathed. Good for all of them.
They better be checking their race seat after this one.
Oh, yeah. See these guys coming through the bus stop. Some pretty close racing there, or not going towards the bus stop.
It's a 3-car breakaway right there.
Oh, the 60 car's got some trouble. Look out!
Jay Stinson with a little bit of trouble there. Looks like he got in the grass.
No!
Oh! As contact with the 51.
The T-bone is returned.
I think that's going to be our T-bone of the race right there. As you see, the 51 gets into big trouble with the 60 who was recovering from his own incident there. As we see, the 77 has a little bit of trouble there as well. A lot unraveling here as we enter our final lap of the race, Joe. Will they make it home safely?
A lot to unpack right now. We might have a 2012 situation, back in the Cup Series when all that dirt and debris and oil was on the track. God knows how much Jerry Rose just laid down on the track after putting in a certified A-grade T-boned steak into the 60 car.
Well, they're going to have to go through that chaos one more time as we're on our final lap here. And Matt Novella has cut into the lead. It's under 2.5 seconds as we enter the bus stop and go through the carousel here. I don't believe it's enough to make up unless Panzarella really has a mishap here.
Yeah, I think this is over. I think this is Zach Panzarella's race to lose at this point. 2 seconds, 2 corners to go. Easy does it. Come on home and get the win.
Yep, a nice smooth entry there. Hits his marks. He's going to just roll on through the final turn here. Final lap at Watkins Glen. Zach Panzarella, he had the dominant car of the day. He's going to cross the finish line, and he is your race winner tonight at Watkins Glen. Matt Novella here in a close second place, and our battle for third. Sean Walton will take third. Joe Volpus, fourth place. And rounding out your top five,
another
Justin Parham.
T-bone.
Buddy Solly
Another
and
one.
Brandon Guerin get into trouble there on the bus stop. That was definitely your certified Angus T-bone.
Yeah, I think a little too much Crown and Coke for Buddy there. Got the 57 pretty good in the bus stop.
So all hell broke loose on the final lap there, as you see David Brenner going to complete his race. Looking further in our top 10, Matthew Fritz is going to have 6th, David Owen 7th, Billy Brickley with a nice 8th place tonight, Stephen Neal 9th, and Jax Duval round out your top 10 as we see our race winner Zach Panzarella doing some victory donuts there.
Well, you know what? First race out of the 12 and into the 1, and he finishes in position number 1. So great race from him here today. Let's see if we can get him up in the booth with us here. Hold on one second. See if I can get him up here with us. There, I'll see if I remember how to do things. I'll figure it out one of these times. There we go.
And I believe we have in the booth, we have our race winner, Zach Panzarella. Zach, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. How's it going, guys?
Hey, how are you doing?
Amazing. I mean, first win, not in a truck. Can't complain about that. Amazing.
Yeah, you had this this number change, this really awesome paint scheme. Love the colors. The tribute to Dennis Puckett on the side there. It looked like Daniel Smith had the dominant car starting early, and then he makes his first stop, and then you inherit the lead. What was your long play today in the race? What was your strategy like?
Yeah, switch to the 1 today. Just wanted to make sure that 12 was either retired or with someone that knew Dennis a tiny bit better than I did. I didn't feel right being the one who ran it anymore. And shout out to the Puckett family, to Dennis Puckett, everybody in BRL, MRL. And yeah, that made that one being more extra special to win, and definitely was an added motivation. But yeah, I got lucky. I'm not gonna lie. Going into that race, my plan was to take tires in that first pit stop, and then I'm practicing, and then one of my teammates, Dalton Geyer, who didn't race today, just bops in with like about 30 minutes left of practice, and he goes, "Yeah, you just shouldn't take tires at all." And so I had 30 minutes left. And so I spent that whole time mocking up that run. And I was able to get up about 23, 24 laps of just not pitting. I'm sorry, of not taking tires. And I felt good. It was still really fast. It felt sketchy, but it was fast. So that was the plan going in. And yeah, right when I saw Daniel not take those tires, yeah, I felt pretty good.
Yeah, Zach, it looked like yourself and a few others that elected not to take tires for the entire race seemed to have the best finish. So I think there's something to be said about that. The tire wear really wasn't a thing, and you're able to run the full race without taking some. But now that you have this win, it really helps bolster a good position in the points for you. What do you see looking ahead at the schedule here coming up in the next few weeks?
I'm part-time in this league. This car is so awesome. I can't help but just run it whenever I get the chance. Also, Juan Delgado in the 14 this league is one of the guys that is part of DDI, new to iRacing, and I coach him week in, week out. So whenever I have the chance to share the track with him, I'm going to take that. But I just think the admins, you guys, Joe, Bev, everybody, you guys have just done such a good job of building a great schedule around a great car and running a league that I think kind of encourages irresponsibility, but really trying to keep stay on top of that. So if I can end up making the minimum amount of races, I'd be thrilled to make the playoffs in this league, and then I'll obviously go full time and do my best. And I'm just gonna take it week by week right now. Whenever the tough part's it's a Friday, and I just never know what's gonna be going on a Friday for me. But at the end of the day, it's it's just so much fun, and every chance I get, I'm gonna try to run this league. And getting a win in this league really meant a ton to me. It's really like it feels like the cream of the crop in terms of who runs it between MRL, BRL, all the talent in that league. So getting a win here really is what I wanted. It meant so much. I came so close to Auto Club, and to get it done at a road course, it was really special. So, and especially again, just the race it was and the significance around it was extra motivation, and having that decal on the side of my car, it meant a ton to me, and it definitely just carried me through that one. So, yeah, I can't say what it holds for me in terms of the playoffs, and what this is for me in this league. But just above all, just extremely exciting, and really an honor to have a win in this league.
Absolute great performance tonight, Zach. Good job out on the track. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to, or any final words to say?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to my teammates who were with me in this race. So we got Hunter Hall and Juan Delgado. Love both those guys. It's been so fun watching them improve week in, week out. They're putting in the work, and that's what MRL and all these leagues are all about. So it's just super cool to see that. And all my other teammates, shout Don Geyer for bopping in for 5 minutes and just dropping that just grain of wisdom and winning in that race. Thank you for that, Dalton. And yeah, it was a weird one with the tires. And I don't want to say the tires didn't matter, because they did. It was just a matter of being able to deal with how difficult it was on those older tires and be able to maintain speed. So with that said, shout out to my other teammate on Thursday nights, Matt Novella. He's a badass, and he was so close. And yeah, he's every bit as good as I am. Shout out to you guys. Amazing broadcast week in, week out. And this league is just so awesome. Like I said, amazing car, amazing schedule. And to have the broadcast on top of that is awesome. So shout out to MRL Broadcasting. VRN, who does the other end of these with MRL and BRL and the DDIRL. Check them out. They're on the car and Daily Drivers Inc. And then, of course, Dennis Puckett. This one was for him. And yeah, him and I, he's partially, Joe and Beverly, you guys as well, partially responsible for why I'm lucky enough to get to broadcast a lot of these races. But Puckett has a lot to do that as well. And he was one of those guys that I looked at as a mentor, and someone who gave me that opportunity and believed in me has been nothing but incredible to me. So it was, the fact that we don't get to run very often together, but we did share the number 12 a lot of times. It's just been a privilege to feel that responsibility, but also just to be part of these leagues and carry on the legacy that he's created with both these leagues. And it feels incredible to know that with that cute face on the side of my car and that awesome decal, that we got that thing in victory lane in that race. So that means so much to me. So I'm thinking about his family. I'm thinking about everyone in BRL, Buddy Soley, Joe Volpus, everyone who was close to him, Kevin Cannell, all you guys. It's the sim racing world became a way worse place this week. But the beautiful thing is that it motivates us. It brings us closer together, and it's the worst part. But I'm thinking about you guys so much, and again, just so special to win that one. That meant so much to me.
Thank you, Zach.
See if I
Well
can
said.
cut in here for a second. See if I can cut it here. I actually have a question for Zach myself. So, actually, looking back at it, the last two broadcasts on here that you actually took part in, like in the race itself, the last one before this, you won the championship on Thursday, and then this one, you won today in the ARCA series. So you got technically two races in a row then of getting the winners victory lane interview. Are you going to try and go 3 weeks in a row next week at Dover?
I mean, you might as well. And you know how much I like Dover. I love that track. If I'm around, I'm going to go for it. I mean, yeah, it's been a crazy week. I won a race early this week in a league that I've been trying at so hard, and it's been a crazy week. And yeah, it all started from the MRL championship that made me feel invincible. So yeah, I mean, yeah, right. I have to. It's just the coolest thing right now, and iRacing is so streaky, right? We've talked about it a lot. I talked about it on my broadcast. Matt Novella just came out of nowhere, won the championship a couple of years ago in MRL. It's such a streaky thing, so you got to ride these waves. as long as you can.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. You always have to take advantage of when you're on a high momentum wise, and you're definitely doing that right now. And definitely nice to see you get the win. Nice to see you in a new paint scheme, new car number, of course, in honor of Dennis. And I'm sure you're just as supportive as I am for Michael Benton to run the 12 forward in the honor of him.
Yeah, that's an awesome thing. Benton, should have mentioned him. So cool. I know he was very close with Puckett, so very, very privileged to hand over that number to him. And I know he'll make it proud, and he'll look good doing it. So I'm excited for that. And yeah, the number one, I mean, so far so good in terms of luck. And I'm a superstitious guy, as you guys know, so I'm chilling with it right now.
Mr. One for One himself, Zach Panzarella, your race winner tonight. Thank you, Zach.
Thank you guys so much. Amazing broadcast. Have a great rest of your night.
You do the same. So, Joe, you see, he just came in there and very confident, did his thing, and messed around and won the race.
Yeah, definitely not an easy thing to do at a road course, especially with the field that we had here tonight. So definitely rose to the occasion and got the dub, even with Matt Novello breathing down his neck there at the end of the race. Good job to hold on to it there to the finish. You look through that top 10 there, got some guys that probably wish they may have had a little bit better luck or strategy decisions. Sean Walden probably wishes he didn't get the EOL for what happened last week at Pocono. Only finished 7 seconds back in third. Volpus with his pit strategy didn't really work out for him. He ends up fourth right behind Walden. David Owens taking those 4 tires. He ends up down in 7th, actually. So it really didn't work out very well for him. You see Buddy Sully back in 11th. Didn't even get back to the top 10 after that speeding penalty, especially after that T-bone there with the 57 on the last lap.
Yeah, absolutely. So, a nice quiet night for Steve Lewis in 13th. He kept the car clean, kept really good pace tonight. Stayed out of trouble. Same for Beverly. Stinson with a little bit of an issue there at the end, and then the lap car of Rose help ending his evening. You move further down into the standings. Brandon Garand inside your top 20. Daniel Smith, your pole sitter and your dominant car early, finishes 20th, Joe. I mean, he just played his hand, and he was never able to recover tonight.
Yeah, that race devolved very quickly after taking those 4 tires. You just saw how quickly it went downhill in those couple of laps, and then the Tokyo drift gone wrong in the carousel really just sealed his fate.
Yeah, it sure did. Joe, it just goes to show, you may have the fastest car, but anything can happen. So those are your results tonight, and it looks like we have our updated points after the Glen finish. Joseph Volpus, still your series leader here. It kind of increases his gap slightly over Billy Brickley in second. Steve Lewis holds serve in third. Jax Duval fourth. Mr. Sean Walton, after a good finish tonight, tied with Jax there. And further down the line, Jay Stinson still above the cut line with Matt Novella creeping ever forward.
Yeah, so definitely want to shout out a few people here. I made definitely have a good relationship with the Animal House custom guys over there, in BRL. Michael Benton and Ricky Mandela have a good relationship with them and everything. So big shout out to them working with me and going to get some cool merch out to the champion at the end of the season. So in return, the chase will be deemed the Animal House Customs Chase. So right now, the top 10 would be the drivers in if would be 10 of the 12 drivers in if the chase started today. The other 2 drivers in would be based on their wins, and that right now would be Matt Novella and Colin Bollinger with where they sit in the points. You see them; they're sitting 11th and 13th. The next guy down that would be in for that would be actually Zach Panzarella, who just won tonight. So he's not in the top 15 on the points. He's a little further back, so he's got a lot of points to make up if he wants to get up there with those guys with the win. But of course, Matt Novella could always leapfrog his way into the top 10, and then that changes that whole complexion outside with winners.
So yeah, still a lot at stake here, as we have a lot of moving parts. A few more races before we enter the playoff scenario. So really exciting to see how the pieces are going to fall, and I really dig that Animal House Customs logo there. So really glad to have them on board. So definitely a shout out to you guys. Thank you for what you do. So with that being said, we go into Dover next week. Joe, thoughts on Dover?
Dover is definitely going to be an interesting track with this car. This car naturally drives tight, so it's going to be interesting to see how tight it drives when we get to Dover. If it's driving, where you're plowing the right front off the car, then we might be seeing some tire issues for really the first time with this car, to be honest with you. And if that does happen, then anything can happen. I'm going to be looking at the guys that are very good at saving tires to have a chance to win the race, or guys that are good at Dover as well. David Owens is always somebody that runs in front of Dover, wins a lot of races in MRL. Colin Bollinger is one of the masters at saving tires. I'm sure he has a vengeance out to get a win after being forced to sit out this week, especially at a road course, which I know he's very good at as well. So, a few guys up there, it's going to be interesting to see who really comes out on top and just how the racing ends up. And I'm really, I just want to say that I'm very proud of the way everybody conducted themselves tonight, especially in honor of Dennis, who, I know he wasn't the biggest fan of driving NASCAR around road courses, but he was always very, very big on making sure everybody had a good time and had fun with what they were doing. And he did the same for himself. Uh, I wish he got a chance to drive with us in the ARCA cars. To be fair, I think he would have. I think he would have really enjoyed it, and especially with how fast he was getting here these past few weeks as well. It would have been really cool to see him race with us on Friday nights.
Very well said, Joe. And we do apologize if the broadcast was a little bit somber tonight, but we lost one of our brothers, and this is to you, Dennis.
No, nothing. I think that was a proper send off.
So we'll see everybody next week at Dover. Until then, go fast or get past.